At 52, David Whitmore sat alone in his truck. He was parked outside his workplace, the same office he had walked into for nearly 27 years. But this morning, something felt different. Maybe it was the silence, maybe it was the exhaustion, or maybe it was that deep, quiet feeling that his life was shifting under him, like the ground itself was giving way. He stared at the familiar brick building, swallowed hard, and whispered to himself, "Something has to change." Little did he know, this would be the morning that shaped the next 20 years of his life. Because every man, no matter his age, eventually arrives at a moment when life demands he choose who he will become next. And for David, it all came down to three crucial decisions. The first decision was about who he would continue to be, and who he would finally let go. For years, David had worn the same identity. He was the responsible one, the reliable worker, the quiet provider, the man who showed up even when his heart wasn't in it. He played his part perfectly. But that role, that heavy costume, had slowly drained the life out of him. He realized something painful that morning, a truth he'd been avoiding for years. He couldn't become who he wanted to be without releasing who he used to be. The man he'd been, tired, apologetic, feeling stuck, simply couldn't walk with him into the next chapter. That version of David had served its purpose, but its time was up. So, right there in his truck, he made his first decision. He declared, "I will stop living by who I used to be and start living by who I choose to become." That single shift in his mind was like a key turning in a long, rusted lock. It didn't solve everything, but it cracked the door open just enough for a sliver of light to get through. The second decision came later that week, and it was about what he would no longer tolerate. David sat in his living room, not with a list of goals or dreams, but with a blank piece of paper and a pen. He started writing down all the things he would no longer allow in his life. The list was brutal in its honesty. He wrote, jobs that drained his soul, people who only took but never gave back, friendships that had died years ago but were kept on life support out of habit, habits that made him weaker, not stronger, and most importantly, the endless excuses he told himself that kept him playing small. It was a harsh inventory, but it was incredibly freeing. Because real-life change doesn't happen when you just add more good things on top of a shaky foundation. It happens when you have the courage to cut away what's holding you down, what's weighing on your spirit. His second decision was simple, but powerful. My standards will rise, even if that means my circle gets smaller. In that moment, as he looked at his list, he felt a forgotten strength returning to him. It was the strength of self-respect. The third decision was the one that would set his future in motion, and it came unexpectedly. One night, David went for a walk under a clear, starry sky. He wasn't thinking about his problems. Instead, he was thinking about the years he had left. Not in a fearful, anxious way, but in a focused, strategic way. 20 years. That's what he figured he had, at least. 20 good years. It was enough time to reinvent everything. Enough time to start a second life entirely. But only if he committed to it. Only if he decided to act. So he pictured the man he wanted to be at 70. He saw him clearly. Healthy, standing tall, confident, not arrogant, financially independent, at peace with himself and the world. Still growing, still learning, still laughing. A man who was still actively choosing to live, not just exist. He realized that version of him wouldn't just happen by accident. It wouldn't appear by luck or wishful thinking. That future man would exist only because the man he was today fought for him, starting now. And so, under the quiet witness of the stars, he made his third and final decision. I will build a future worth arriving in, even if I have to start from the ground up. That night, that walk, wasn't just a walk. It was his first real step into his next 20 years. The story of David is a story about a truth we all learn eventually. Your life won't be defined by your past. It won't be defined by luck or by chance. It won't be defined by the years that are already behind you. Your life, from this moment forward, will be defined by the decisions you make right now. Just like David, sooner or later, you must choose. You must choose who you refuse to be anymore. The version of you that is tired, that makes excuses, that feels stuck. You must choose what you refuse to tolerate. The low standards, the draining relationships, the habits that hold you back. And you must choose what future you are willing to build, starting today, even if it feels like you're starting from zero. These 3 decisions aren't small. They aren't trivial. They are everything. Because once you make them, with conviction and with courage, the next 20 years of your life don't just happen to you. They happen because of you. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content to help you build a life you're proud of. We'll see you in the next one.